If there's one thing that I hear most often that people are going to miss when they become vegan or plant-based, it's this stuff in front of us, cheese. And secondary, probably this stuff beside us, wine. So here to explain how you will have no more FOMO, no more fear of missing out, I would like to welcome my very special guest. She's a Master Somm. There are under 300 in the world. Miss Jen Huether.
Hello.
Hi. So, vegan wines. First of all, why is wine not vegan anyways?
Well, historically, they have used things around the farm to do things like filter the wine and fine it so that it is perfectly clear. Yeah. And things around the farm could be things like ox blood or egg whites, and fish bladders also used. So historically, this is how they would do it. However, now we know that things like clay can also be used that are vegan friendly.
Right, because when you're smelling and sipping your wine, at no point do I hear people saying, love the smell of fish bladder, or really looking for that flavor of ox blood, although there are some bloody wines, aren't there? There are some wines that kind of have that taste and smell of blood, but we won't get into that. So now you can enjoy your wine and not worry about any of those things that help make it so beautifully clear. And also, you can enjoy your cheeses because vegan cheese has come a long way.
100%. I mean, we've been chatting about that. We've had some great dinners together with some great cheese. And it can be really tough to make really good cheese. Vegan cheese, that is. But we know it's a thing. And, you know, speaking to Afram at the Cheese Boutique, he's showcasing some vegan cheese as well that you can pick up. But this looks just amazing, and I'm very excited to try it.
We are very excited to try this because we didn't know that the lovely chef here at Awai was going to prepare this for us. It's a little bonus. It's actually a very big bonus. There's 4 different kinds of cheeses here, and they all have different profiles. So we don't necessarily know that the wine we're going to be drinking is going to go with any or all of them. But in terms of just pairing in general, what are a couple of the basics if you're looking at wine and cheese pairings?
Absolutely. So same rules apply to pairing wine with vegan food as wine with non-vegan food. And that is, think about things like weight versus weight. So when you have a nice creamy kind of bigger style of a Chardonnay, that would work really well with something like, I would think, a cashew cheese, something that has a lot of weight and depth to it.
Creaminess, so like matching light.
Like matching light, exactly. Another thing to consider is if you have a lot of fat in the cheese, so if it's really, really rich and fatty, something with some acid to clean your palate up as well in the wine.
This is one thing I want to touch upon because we hear a lot of stuff. I think normal people know a lot of stuff about wine in terms of the flavors and the creaminess and all these textures, but acid is something that is very difficult for an average consumer to understand. What is it? How do you taste it?
So acid is the thing in lemons that make them so crisp and tart, and they are what balances sweetness. So imagine a peach, for example, and when you have it, it's underripe, you have all that acidity and not a lot of sugar. And when it's perfectly ripe, you have that balance between the sugar and the acid that's in the peach. And then when it gets super sweet, that acid will fall out, and then it's just very ripe and sugary. So what we're looking for in a wine is that balance. And when you have acid in a wine, it can really work with the food and help clean up your palate and cleanse it for another bite of something that's rich.
So it helps you from feeling too overindulged, I think. Like when you have too much of a creamy thing, too much of a good thing is still too much of a good thing, even if it's a good thing. And what about the sense of opposites attract in pairings?
Yeah, absolutely. So you could go in the way of you're going to have a big, heavy, rich dish with a light, refreshing, crisp wine, for example, or the opposite. You could really play off of the wine and focus on the wine and keep the food fairly simple, for example.
So we're trying a Chardonnay, which from my understanding is one of the best wines for food pairings. Is that correct?
Well, it's one of my favorite wines, that's for sure. It's my favorite white grape variety, and it is certainly very popular. So people do like it. And yeah, I like it because it's a white wine that generally carries some weight and texture to it.
Right.
So if you like red wine as well, this is probably a white wine that you will like. So it tends to bridge the gap with people and also with food.
Well, I think now that's our cue to actually try it with some of these cheeses. So we're going to have to let you go for now, but we'll let you know how it was. And then when you come to Awai, you can ask for the wine that pairs with this lovely cheese plate. Cheers.
Cheers.
And that's what Priya said.